What up, though? And welcome to the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast, your trusted source for Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's a new Detroit Lions show with a different twist on Detroit Lions news and rumors. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, don't panic. This is how it works. We look at Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they bossed up. If we disagree, they balled on. Now, we give our takes on why we agree or disagree, but for the live shows, man, it's just me, so it's going to be a little different. I want you guys in the comments, if you agree, put hashtag bossed up. If you disagree, put hashtag balled on and tell me why. And I'll put your comments on the screen and we'll talk about it together. Now, it's time to get to the show, man. Today's topics: how Aidan Hutchinson can improve this season, possible first-time Lions Pro Bowlers in 2024, and the benefits of Dan Campbell's aggressive coaching style. But first, before we get into the topics, let's hit into the comments today, man. Michael Huck says, it's great to see you guys back together. Yeah, the guys don't come on the live show, but they will be here definitely on the recorded shows. Motown Mitch says, what up, though? Man Steele himself, Kurt Steele. Thanks, my man. Hat Man. Kurt Steele, what up, though? Check out your show, buddy. God, thanks, man. I appreciate it. JP Page 2. What's going on, man? Mile Marker, what's going on? What's going on? Doug, Michael Rosen, catching you for a few moments if I can. Congrats on being back in the game full time. Thanks you. I appreciate it. Dennis, Tinek, hey, Curtin, everyone. Good morning to you. Hookadoo, my man from over there in the Do Crew. What's going on this morning? So let's look at what we are looking at, talking about first up this morning. We're looking at how that Aidan Hutchinson can get better. Now, looking at what he's saying right here. Now, this is coming from over at with the fellas over at All Lions Fan Nation. Now, they said, first of all, he needs to finish plays at the quarterback. And what they're saying is that he was overrunning still a little bit last year, overrunning his pursuit, getting past the quarterback. But once he get to the quarterback, he wasn't finishing the play, getting the sack. Get that? Now, another way that he can improve, that they said, what can improve his game is the improved play of the Lions secondary. Now, that's going to help. We talked about this just over with the Do Crew, and we were talking about how the integral the secondary can be to the pass rush. They work in sync, and the improved play can help Aidan Hutchinson because the more they can cover, the more he has time to get to the quarterback. And last but not least, because it's not least, the addition of DJ Reader. He's going to make a big difference on that defensive line, eating up some of the double teams from the opposing offensive lines, letting Hutchinson heat, and so with Aileen McNeil as well, because they can't double team everyone. And it's one of those things where I'm looking at it. That is one of the things for me that I agree with. Now, do I agree with this? How Hutchinson can get better? Do I think it's bossed up, or I think it's a balled out take? I think it's a bossed up take, man. All of these things would definitely go toward Aidan Hutchinson being a better player this season. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments, man. And let's get back to my man Shane Smith is in the building. Okay, we found you. Okay, thanks you. Is that still you? Yes, it's still me, baby. All right, Bo Boof's in the building. The Crew. What's going on? Thanks for coming over and checking us out. Big Dan, coming over from Lions Talk Live. Okay, boss up, ball out crew. I want to know, are these reasons that Aidan Hutchinson can get better in the season. Hashtag boss up. Hashtag balled on. Now, drop them in the comments and we're going to share. Let's talk about it, man. Here we go. Doug, he said it takes what the O-line gives him and he reacts to holds the field. Okay. I feel you. I feel you on that. Stevie Wittis 68. What's up, Kirk? See you doing your thing. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's glad to be up. All right, Motown Mitch says bossed up to balled out from the first one. Okay. Bossed up on the second, balled out on the first one. Okay. So you thought he finished plays. Okay. Michael Huck says balled on. Aidan will be fine. We need to focus on Pascal Houston, staying healthy, and Aidan's healthy than Aidan's performance. Okay, I feel you. All right, who could do boss up for sure? Go Lions. Okay, Bo Boo says all the above. Kirk Hutch has been given all kinds of help this year. I believe that 100%. I think that the Lions are going to make it where they get some help for him. DJ Reader. I'm not sure about Davenport, but a healthy James Houston and Josh Pascal, definitely. Mom Marcus said balls up. Bossed up. Okay, he's stronger, smarter. If other take some slack, he will kill this year. Okay. JB Page too. Aidan needs a few more breathers when the defense is on the field for long stretches. I think I agree with that because he plays so hard and he goes all out the whole time where he can run himself out of gas. Definitely. All right. My man, Doug Michael Rosen says he'll have more time to reach the quarterback and more other assassins to team with him. I believe that 100%. Hey, do me a quick favor. All right. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video, share it with other Lions fans just like yourself. We're trying to grow our channel over here at Boss Up Ball Out. We're a little over 1,500 subscribers, so we're trying to get to 2,000 by the end of July. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and share it with Lions fans just like yourself. All right, next topic. The Lions can have up to what they're saying is 6 new Pro Bowlers this season. Now, what they're saying is that these are some of the guys that I picked out of this article. This is coming from my guy over at Sideline Report. That these are some of the Lions. They had 6, but I picked 3. Okay, first up is the defensive tackle. Y'all see this picture. Aleem the Dream McNeil. Now, some of the reasons they said, of course, like we said with Aidan Hutchinson, the emergence of DJ Reader. He's coming in and he's going to be a force, and that's going to force double teams and probably triple teams on DJ Reader, which is going to let Aleem McNeil eat. He has continued to reshape his body. He came in nice and strong this offseason and during the spring. So he's looking like he's still the part that he played last season. Next up, we got Brian Branch. Brian Branch is one of those guys where a little bit of injuries may have cost him last year as far as a Pro Bowl nod, but he was one of the best defensive back rookies last year, playing safety, playing corner. I mean, doing it all, playing run support. The guy, I mean, even got a sack. So Brian Branch is one of those guys where I think that this year he's going to have an expanded role. Is one of the reasons that they gave for him being a potential Pro Bowler. Dan Campbell's already talked about it. He's going to play some safety. He's going to probably play some nickel. You got a Meek Robinson can slide in and play some nickel. And if he pushes out to safety and that rotation between himself, Kirby Joseph, and Ife Melifonwu can definitely be one of the reasons why that Brian Branch can be a Pro Bowler this year. And the last one was kind of surprising for me, just to be honest with you. It's Taylor Decker. Now, I'm not saying that Taylor Decker is not a good offensive tackle. He got his ankle fixed this offseason. He should be healthy coming into the season. But I'm not. He's never really. I'm not saying he doesn't produce on the field. I'm just saying I've never kind of viewed him as a Pro Bowl or All Pro type of player. But it could be the year where he gets his first Pro Bowl nod if the offensive line can play up to his potential and be one of the best in the leagues, rated number 1 in the league by PFF going into the season. So, all right. So I'm going to give my take on all three of these guys separately. I'm going to say bossed up on Brian Branch and Lee McNeil. But for my man Taylor Decker, I'm going to say that take is definitely balled on. So talk to me in the comments, baby. For these guys, Aleem McNeil, Brian Branch, Taylor Decker, hashtag bossed up, hashtag balled on. Each one of these guys, what do you think about these guys being potential Pro Bowlers? All right, so we got my man Bo Booth says Decker is way overdue. Okay, I see that. All right. Doug Rosen says, I see Aleem Branch and add J-Mo. Okay, J-Mo. Frank the Tank says, what up, though? What up, though, Frank the Tank? Okay, so Doug says maybe iffy is possible as well. Okay, my man Michael Huck says balled up. He said Decker deserves it, but Aleem needs to be more consistent. I agree with you on that. And I think that the addition of DJ Reader is going to help the Lions, going to help Aleem McNeil be more consistent. Definitely, Michael Huck. All right, Bo Booth, love the logo, Kurt. Same one on my LTL hoodie. Which hoodie do you have with my logo on it? Oh, you're talking about, unless you're talking about my Lions hat. If you're talking about my logo on my show logo, it shouldn't be on anything else. That logo was in trademark. All right. Aleem McNeil will go to the Pro Bowl this year. Boss up. Okay, Courtney, I hear you. I hear you. Bo Booth, maybe not all pro, but good enough. Okay. I believe we're talking about Decker. Okay. If Decker gets Pro Bowl, it's by the overall effect of the offensive line. I like him. He deserves it. You know what? I think he's maybe an underrated offensive lineman. I think a lot of attention gets paid to Frank Ragnow and, of course, Penei Sewell because he just demands that attention. But okay. But if you look at it, if you look at the effect of the offensive line, man, I think he's a good, solid left tackle. I've never had a lot of complaints about Taylor Decker. You know, he has his issues at times, especially with speed rushes, guys off the edge. But they take care of Jared Goff, and he took care of Matthew Stafford when he was here as well. So I can't say anything bad about Taylor Decker. All right, the blue line looks like my hoodie. Okay, all right. So that's what we're talking about today. All right. So next up, man. Now, this one right here, this topic right here was kind of near and dear to my heart. It is about our guy, Dan the Man Campbell. All right. So Mark Schlereth, if you don't know who Mark Schlereth is, he was a longtime offensive lineman. He won the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos back in the day. And he was talking about Dan Campbell and his aggressive coaching style. That asked him, you know, do you think that he would dial it back this year coming up, you know, because of the fact that what happened in the NFC Championship game, where he think he will be take a step back and not be as aggressive, especially on fourth down. But here is what he said is the benefits of Dan Campbell's aggressive coaching style. He said it takes the pressure off third down. Like the players know that if they don't get it on third down and they're close, they're going to go for it on fourth. Jack Fox was not a very busy punter last year, but you know when he did get in, he did do his thing. Now another thing it says it shows belief in his players, and his players in return believe in him. he believes that the guys can go out there and make plays. I talked about this with the Duke crew here a little bit ago, that Dan Campbell believes in his players and he believes that they can go out there and make plays. It's not just about gambling. He's betting on his players, and that shows belief in what their abilities are. And finally, it's the conversion rate. He was over 50% on fourth down in the league, but look how many times he went. 40 times attempts during the season. Man, that's crazy. 40 attempts on fourth down with a 52% conversion rate. That means that the Lions are getting it done on fourth down. They are definitely looking at the what's going on. Dan Campbell, people are calling him crazy. They calling him Dan Gamble. But for me, I'm looking at Dan Campbell's coaching style and what he does out there for the Detroit Lions as the head coach. I'm going to give my take on the benefits of his coaching style. I'm going to say boss up, baby. I don't want Dan Campbell to change who he is, not one bit, because he is the reason, one of the biggest reasons for the turnaround. And I don't think it would be him if he kind of switched up and started to look at dialing back and looking at the fourth down conversions. He doesn't want to go for it. He wants to play timid. He wants his players to be aggressive, and he wants to be that type of coach that's a leader, and he wants his guys to play all out at all times, and he believes in them. But I don't think that him taking a step back. Now, do I want him to be more calculated at times? Absolutely. I'm not just saying just go for it all the time, but sometimes you just have to go for it. But sometimes be more measured, punt the ball, kick the field goal. I think that the addition of Jake Bates and the new leg strength of Michael Badgley will help with that decisions to go for it if they can get within field goal range. But look at it. I'll look at it now. I don't want him to step back at all. All right. So what did you think in the comments, man? Do you think that there's some benefits of Dan Campbell's coaching style? If you agree, say hashtag boss up. If you disagree, say hashtag bald on, man. Let's get back to the comments. Michael Huck, as far as the last, he said none will make it. The team in the Super Bowl doesn't get to play in the Pro Bowl. I like the way you think, Michael Huck. I like the way you think, baby. I like that. Yes, we don't want them to be in the Pro Bowl. We want them to be in the Super Bowl so they don't have to go to the Pro Bowl this year. Definitely. All right. Bobu says, sorry, got it mixed up. My bad. It does look good. Thank you very much. I've had this logo, the Regal Lion, for a few years now, and I got it professionally made by a graphic artist. Thank you. Doug Michael Rosen says, we had a less inspiring defense, so we would give the ball away. We have Fox, who could give us great defense, but we're giving up 20-yard chunks. Okay, I feel you. JDC says, hi, y'all. Hi, all. Okay. Is that high or is it high the other way? I don't know, but it's hey, good morning. All right. JDC says, ready to start the fire. Okay. Who could do? What's going on? MCDC is a player's coach. They bend over backwards for him. I absolutely agree with that 100%. Their players love him, and he loves his players. If you look back at that Hard Knocks first episode, and he was talking to the players about when they were out there and they were in pads in the heat, and he was saying he wants them to get better. All he does is think about those guys, and that's 100. That is 100% authentic. Dan Campbell is the guy. Whatever you see on the field, you're gonna see off the field, and that's just what he is, man. Dan Campbell is the guy. All right, JDCC always, most of the time, maybe, sure, okay. All right. Bobu said MGDC must never change. I agree with that 100%. MCDC isn't changing his coaching style. Brent DeWitt, what's going on, man? Fellow Army veteran, what's going on, man? Salute to you. All right. Michael Rose, but we missed 19 fourth downs. Now we can rely on our defense to get a 3 and out. Give Raymond or whoever to get a punt return TD. Man, I'm interested to see the new kickoff rule and what we can do on special teams. Dave Phipp is going to have some stuff, man. I believe it. All right, bossed up. He goes for it when the percentages are high or we're behind and need to go for it. I believe that as well. Frank the Tank, Dan Campbell's whatever he decides to do on fourth down and go Lions. What? Okay, what's up? It all depends on where we run the fourth down. He had no choice but to rely on the offense. I think at times I believe you are correct, Doug. All right, JDC, the vibe as a Lions fan is definitely on an uptick. You know what? I live in North Carolina, so I don't know if you guys know this, right? So if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys are new to following me on for Lions coverage, I live in North Carolina. I live right outside Fort Liberty, formerly known as Fort Bragg, and I get a lot of positive feedback when I'm wearing my Lions gear. Of course, it gets mixed up sometimes with some of the Carolina fans thinking I'm wearing Carolina, and then they look at me like, nah, man, I'm a Lions fan, baby. Don't get it twisted. But all the love I get in down here, because of course, a melting pot with the military, you get a lot of different fans from a lot of different areas. I love to give it to some of the other fans that's down here, the Packers fans, the Bears fans, and the Vikings fans. I give it to them every chance I get, man, definitely. All right, so my heart's full. My heart's on fire for Lions football. Thanks, Hat Man. I appreciate that. So now it's time for some questions here for the last part of the show. So if you have a question for me, put it in the comments and I will answer them for you. All right. I did jump school at Fort Bragg. Hey, thanks, Bo Booth, man. Hey, yeah, the Airborne down here, home of the Airborne, home of the Special Forces, right down here at Fort Liberty. Like I said, formerly known as Fort Bragg. But yeah, man, a lot of Airborne. I spent most of my career, and ironically, I didn't jump out of anything. I never jumped out of a plane. I never jumped out of a helicopter. I never went air assault or anything like that. But I spent most of my career here at Fort Liberty, here in the Fayetteville area, due to the fact that for the EFMP, my son has autism, and this is one of the best installations for autism support and resources. So we ended up doing most of my career here at Fort Liberty or Fort Bragg. And my son was actually born here. So, yeah, thank you. How many yards will Goff run for? Oh, my God. I hope it's a negative. And the reason why I say I hope it's a negative, Doug, because I hope it's just kneel downs. I hope it's kneel downs, man. That's just honest with you. Kneel downs for me. I just want him to kneel. That's only rushing yards I want him to do. Okay, Anthony Fitzpatrick, my man, Jason Statham Jr. The man is still good to see you doing content again. Regards from Jason Statham Jr., man. That's my dude right there. Go check him out on Royal Alliance UK, man. They do a great show. They got great platform. Their college scouting shows are ridiculous, man. So go check them out, and their Alliance content is top notch. So you would definitely see my man Anthony on the show, but I can get him on, man. All right, Doug one says, will Hooker throw a touchdown this year to J-Mo? Man, hell no, man, because Hooker's going to play in the preseason, and I don't think J-Mo is going to be on the field to catch a touchdown pass with him. All right, Hat Man, I see Jack Campbell making the Pro Bowl. What do you think, boss? Oh, man, you know what? I would love to see Jack Campbell make the Pro Bowl. If he takes over the starting role from Derek Barnes, I can see that happening. They say he got some great growth in his game this offseason. I'm looking at him. He's definitely one of those guys. He made some good leaps at the end of last year, especially when he was called on when Derek Barnes was out in the playoffs. So I see Jack Campbell definitely stepping up this year. He has some great pass rush, and some good plays in the backfield this year. And congratulations to Jack Campbell. He got married recently, and so did Jared Goff and Malcolm Rodriguez. Man, this last year was the babies. All the babies was on the Lions last year. All the babies was had last season. Now it's all the weddings. Now I predict it's gonna be some more babies next year after all these weddings. All right, Michael Huck says, "How do you think Arnold would do as a rookie cornerback?" I'm gonna tell you, Michael Huck, and shout out to Michael Huck, man. I actually had the pleasure of sitting with Michael Huck during the coldest game here in Carolina history, where the Lions were on the verge of the playoffs and came and got their butt whooped by the Panthers here in Charlotte. But I think Terry Arnold is going to be an exceptional rookie. You look at what he's doing, his footwork, the guy is smooth, no wasted movement. When he ran his 40 at the combine, people were worried about that, but he had a groin injury. He plays a lot. He doesn't play what that 40 time at the combine says. That kid's fast. He's smooth. He doesn't have any wasted movement. And one of the things I see with that young fella is that he is a baller. He's going to step up and he's going to be a big part of the Lions defense. He's going to be a baller this year. All right, Doug, Michael, what you got, man? Will Ben Johnson have a special package for Hooker? He had one for Sewell. Man, I just don't, unless something drastic happens with Jared Goff, I just don't see Hooker playing in the regular season. I'm sorry. He's still a rookie. He didn't play anything last year. He didn't do anything last year. Didn't get on the field. So, and to me, he's going to have some adjustments as a rookie quarterback this year. He's a little older, but yeah, definitely. All right. Patrick Cheese Bro said, or Ches Bro, sorry I missed the first part of the show, but I'm here now. Go Lions. I see Gibbs exploding this year. Ooh, we're going to talk about that, Patrick, tomorrow. And salute to you there, Marine. We're going to talk about that on our recorded show tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. We're going to have a good conversation about Jahmyr Gibbs tomorrow. All right. Brent DeWitt says, babies, and more babies next year, man. I see it. I can see that happening, man. All right. Patrick Cheese will say, I love the show. Man, thank you for all the love, man. I appreciate that. All right. JDC, remember the days and the Lions should go into the prevent defense only to prevent them from winning? I sure do. Man, that was one of the things that used to drive me bananas with Jim Caldwell when he would do that prevent defense. And I knew I had to drive Terrell Austin crazy as well, who was his defensive coordinator, excuse me. Yeah, that prevent defense was terrible, man. You got to play to win. You know, you don't play to tie. You don't play not to lose. You got to play to win. All right. But I didn't pay attention to Arnold. I didn't think we could get him. You know, a lot of people didn't think that. But you know, looking at him, and they were looking at, a lot of people were talking about Kool-Aid because, you know, Kool-Aid is probably, he's a little bigger player, a little bit bigger frame, but Arnold I believe he was the best cornerback at Alabama. Yeah, definitely. And I wasn't surprised that Brad went and got his guy. So is the over under is 0. Yes, 0 for Goff's rushing yards, definitely. JDC, yeah, me too. I hated it. Bo Booth, 30 yards for Goff rushing. I hope not. All right, Patrick, I see Hooker in a few games if we get a head 40-10 or something like that. Maybe. Hey, Patrick, if we can blow teams out like that, I definitely can see that happening. All right. Prevent from winning. Yes. All right. Michael Huck, how do you feel knowing you can mention Lions and Super Bowl in a statement is realistic for the first time in our lifetime? Absolutely, man. I am 52 years of age, man, and I have the only time we ever talked about the Lions in the Super Bowl was back when they got absolutely ransacked in the NFC Championship game by the then Washington Redskins. And it was hard for me to follow the Lions back then because there was no internet. And I was stationed in Texas during that time. I was stationed in Korea before that. My 90s Lions coverage was very, what I could see was very limited because I was overseas the first part of my military career. So I didn't get to see the Lions in the 90s pretty much at all. So to see it now, I am absolutely ecstatic. All right, JDC hat man. Woo, woo. Okay, a lot of emojis right there. All right. It says, agree, Patrick, garbage time TDs for Hooker. I agree with that as well. All right, any plays with Manu, he's athletic and strong. Man, that's a big kid, and happy Canada Day to him. He gave a shout out yesterday for Happy Canada Day. All right. All right. JDC Hatman, puff pass to your brother. Okay. All right. We're over a half an hour. That's only really I plan to do this morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. We're going to come at you tomorrow. We're going to be talking about definitely some good topics on tomorrow's show. We're going to be talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and his potential for this year. We're going to be talking about some Jack Campbell topics for tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about some camp battles going on. What are we looking forward to for this year? Thank you guys for checking us out right here at the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the channel and the video with Lions fans just like yourself. Make sure you go on to our social medias and follow the crew. Man, you see Coach Mike Jones up there. You definitely see my man LL Cool Torrance. And you can follow me on those platforms as well. Hey, thank you guys for checking us out right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. You got to remember, whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. This is Kurt Steele, and I will holla at you real soon.